Hello and welcome to the box opening and review of the TrackIR by me, Kevin Sawyer. Let's have a look, see what I've got in the box. I bought this today. I bought it a couple of days, ordered it on Amazon a couple of days ago. I will put the link in the description for you guys so you can go and have a look for it for yourself. Don't have to buy it from Amazon. So it could be cheaper elsewhere. So do please feel free to shop around. But I'm gonna do this box opening review for this product. I know that TrackIR tend to do two types. There's a basic version and there's an advanced version. This one was a cheaper one, but it said it come with all the necessary bits. So I'm going to see what it comes with. But here we go. Let's just show you what the packaging's like. So you've got the nice packaging on the front of the TrackIR unit on the top there. Let's push it back slightly so you guys can see it proper. There we go. Yeah. There we go. So here's the TrackIR on the back on there. Sorry about the lights. It's a case of late afternoon when I'm doing this, so lights pouring in through my room. Right, and on the back, if I bring this a bit closer, you can see the back end of the TrackIR unit itself, and then you've just got the standard sort of blurb or text on the back. Feel free to pause it now if you want to read through all that, but it just tells you pretty much what it's good for, etc, etc, good for sim racing and all that malarkey. So it's quite easy to open. When it came to me, all it had is two bits of like sellotape on either side. So I'll open it up now anyway. Let's let it down. It should just pops open. Right, okay. It's just a bit of card in the front. Don't think there's any significance with the card. It's just a bit of card. Unit itself's like placed in that little plastic container. I will try and gently pull it all out in one lump sum. I'm not breaking it. It's quite expensive bit of kit. It's taped up as well, so let's pull that off. Let's move that box out of the way. Right, okay, so that looks like you get the instructions or destructions for the head clip itself. Quick breeze through there for you guys, and it's a quick connect tutorial, and the back page on out the way, and this looks like the unit itself. Yeah, there we go. So that there is the unit, the LED unit itself. It's got 3 points of access on here, and on here. So that's if you've got poor light, it'll help reflect it. And this one you'd use for this one for your headset mount. Now I've been told these clips can be a bit cheap, and feeling it now, I can see what they mean. It does feel a bit sort of like crudely made for something that's so expensive, and these costs, get these replacement versions of these, about 30 odd dollars, so roughly about 15-20 quid UK money. It does feel a bit cheap, to be fair. I don't see that lasting particularly long, but it does. It's just like little clip there, and the hinge feels quite cheap as well. So it's a bit disappointing, to say the least. I don't see that lasting at all. But I could be wrong. But anyway, I'll move on to the next bit. It's got looks like a USB connection on it. Oh, it's got a nice bit of felt, not felt, sorry, Velcro attachment. I might keep that, although I bought some stuff from Amazon again to wrap for my shifter when I get it. It'd be good to keep the cable up. I might keep that as a spare one. Anyway, I'll move on to the next bit. So that's that bit covered. Right, what's the next bit? Right, this is the the TrackIR unit itself. It's a bit of film, could potentially be. No, there's no film on the front of it, I don't see. No. These, I guess, are, I've been, from what videos I've seen, a little LEDs to tell you that it's working, it's operational, etc., etc., and what it's picking up on. And again, it's got a USB connection on that as well, another bit of Velcro strip. So I might have bought that Velcro strap stuff for nothing. Next bit is, this is the baseball hat clip. I don't wear baseball hats. I do have an old US style 10-gallon hat. I might see if it clips onto that, just to see if it works, but you get that option as well, so you've got both just in case you need both. If you don't like to wear headphones, you can wear the actual that one instead of the hat instead, but if you don't like hats, you can go with the headphones. And this looks like, you know, this is the little base for what the TrackIR unit sits on, with fully adjustable legs. Again, it's not, you know, expensively made. It feels a bit crude. I can imagine that, you know, if you use that a lot or moved it around a lot, it's going to break over time or become brittle, especially the heat of your monitor will make that brittle over time. So, but it's got a magnet post on the top here. So, and if I look on the bottom end of the of this itself, you can see it's got a magnet on there as well, and it should just, and it does just clip straight on, which is quite easy. So if you do need to reposition it, it shouldn't be too much of an effort to do so. That's that empty bag, and on the bottom here it's software download instructions with technical notes, and just cards, quick starter guide cards, and then it's just cardboard. I'll pause the video here, and I'll go set it all up, and I'll go on to the next bit, which will be showing you how the software works, and how to configure it and everything. So I'll talk to you on that bit, but I'll see you there.
Hello guys, and welcome back. This is the TrackIR. I'm running version 5.4, I think, the software version, I think, off the top of my head. Now, one thing I will say to you guys is, if you're planning to get this TrackIR, you know, you may want to download the software first before, well, once you've ordered it, go and download the software. Reason being, because it's quite a big file and it takes a while to download it. With my internet speed at 70 meg, it took me about 16 minutes to download it, so it's quite a big file. If you've got slower, it might take even longer. So, you know, bear that in mind. You don't have to install it straight away, just download it, put it somewhere safe and you can remember where it is. Either leave it in your downloads folder, or if you clear that out regularly, put it on your desktop. You'll see it as an extraction file anyway. Run it once you get the products all hooked up and so ready to go. One thing I'll go through everything and what you can see. You can obviously see my head movements. It's sort of like you can see it's like a little test globe. It's so low you can make it easier for you to calibrate. So you see what my head's doing as I do that. That's my virtual head. That wire head is your virtual head. And you can see at the top right there is whereabouts my TrackIR sits in with the center of the screen. Now I haven't got it perfectly set up as yet. As you can see, it's slightly off. It is kind of crucial how you set it up best as you can. Obviously you can be limited on what you got, like I am. It will work, and you can recenter any time by pressing F12. So as you can see my little TrackIR unit. It's got arrows pointing. So if I do that and then move slightly, that technically is center to TrackIR. When you center it, as soon as you move away, it's going to be off center. So you can center it to where you're sitting. It is forgiving, but what I can say is just get it as close as you can to that center point. Just keep adjusting the camera so it sits kind of right. Now, how I'll go through pretty much with the track clip. You need to have it so it's centered on your monitor, pointing directly at your face, or towards your head or the unit itself. So bear that in mind. Again, with that, it's good. Again, it's relying on the reflective capability of the track clip itself. So if you're in a bright room, if lots of natural sunlight in that room, you might find it freaks out a lot, because the sun has infrared radiation, infrared in it, infrared light. So if there's too much sun in the room, it's going to detect that. It's going to overpower the TrackIR unit itself, and it's going to freak out all the time with you. So you find that a lot. Obviously, you might want to reduce the amount of sunlight, or reposition your unit so it doesn't pick up so much. The good thing about the Track Pro clip, which comes with the one I ordered on the Amazon, which I said before, there's a link in the description below. It comes with both. So it comes with both the head clip and the TrackIR clip, as you saw in the box opening. So pretty much you can like I say, you can look down and up, and it kind of, you can calibrate it, and I'll go through I'll go through a basic and where the calibration settings are. I won't go through step for step on how to the best setup for yourselves, guys. I would suggest going looking around on YouTube and see, lots of people out there done like setups and how to best set up your TrackIR itself. I just don't know enough about it yet to really give you a justified tutorial on how to really best set up your setup for yourself. It's an individual thing. Some people prefer certain aspects and some people don't. But as you can see in the top right hand corner, the center is slightly off, as I said, but it is sort of like compensating for that. So it is a bit forgiving. As I'll recenter myself to my center, and then press F12. You can again assign different keys, and then it's going to sort of like center it as best it can. But again, like I say, if you're using the Track Pro clip, that needs to be off center to the on the monitor. So that needs to be centered to the Pro clip itself. So get it roughly so then it's facing towards the Pro clip, sort of like more or less straight towards it, if you can, to the best that you can, obviously depending on what your setup is on your monitor and everything. Doesn't have to sit on top of the monitor. It can sit either underneath it if you've got space, as long as it's directly sort of like in front of the actual track clip itself, so it can just maximize your head movement, because obviously it's got instructions to that. It's going to freak out as soon as you turn. But as you can see, as I turn my head, now I'm only looking sort of like towards the edge of my screen, but in real aspects, the game's kind of giving you a 90-degree turn. And when I do move a bit more, it's more or less moving the head right all the way around. Again, you can set up each individual one. So when you click on this one, I won't click on it because it might freak out my TrackIR. But when you click on this one here, that's obviously just the standard track one. If you prefer having it on a hat rather than a clip, and obviously this is a pro clip. That's the basic settings. Obviously, the speed of it, you can adjust that. Again, I don't know enough to what best speeds are best for yourselves, and then the smoothness is 10, so it's it smooths it out a bit more. But I'll go into the advanced settings. This is where you can change and configure what keys do what on your TrackIR, and you can configure it to your own personal standpoint. As you can see, I've got profile smooth selected at the moment. There are several different ones. There's default, so that is sort of like, it just go to its default settings, which is similar. It may pick up a bit more head movement, or it might not be as smooth as you'd like it in turning. Again, it's down to individual preference. I'll say feel free playing around with it. One thing I will say, I can't see a way of setting them back to default. So what I'd say is probably keep the defaults as they are, make up a new profile, which you can. I think you can just create a new profile on one of the tabs, and then you can literally create up a new profile itself. But you can change all the yaw and select everything else. But you can adjust it through here. You can click on these, drag them up and down. I haven't played with mine that long to sort of like get it perfectly set up for myself. I'm gonna have a good sort of like try and get it as best as I can centered, like I've just suggested. At the moment, I've got it as good as I can for the time being, but I'm gonna have another sort of like play about, try and sort of like get it so it's a bit more centered still. Just for more accuracy. But at the moment it's working. As you can see, it's working and picking my face up, although I'm not quite centered in the screen. The camera sees me as being slightly lower, but like I said, I think the developers have incorporated a bit of a leeway, so it can sort of like work with what you've got. But you can adjust all as I say, go through all the settings. You've got one-to-one there. Have a play about. But as I say, play about with them. If make your new profile, and then set it to that. Or if you're not 100% sure, don't save anything. Just set it all up. See how it works in the environment here, and then just leave it as it is, and then go and play on your game. When you load in a game, there are predetermined settings for some games. So like TrackIR have already put some predetermined settings already in, so you might have to sort of like, as long as you go with that, as long as it's still selected your profile, it should be okay. But you might find it then reconfigures everything for that specific game, reconfigures the profile for that game. So again, just play about with it. If you need more information, do feel free to go on YouTube and look around for how to set up a TrackIR properly. But as I said, this is just an introduction to show you how the software works, just advisory, and sort of make sure you download it before you get the product itself, get it all ready. Once you get the product, then TrackIR itself, then install it once you've plugged it all in. It's quite a long cable. Again, just make sure if you're using the Track Pro clip, make sure your cables are unobstructed. They're not going to tug on anything or get snagged on anything or get you know just trapped on anything like your chair or anything like that, because if you yank too hard on the Pro clip, you're going to break it. And I think it's roughly about 20-25 quid to replace the clip, well, that Pro clip itself. So bear that in mind. But that sort of like concludes this part of the actual software and what it's capable of. Say, feel free to play about with it. Just bear in mind, I don't know how to reset it. If anyone does know how to reset it, obviously leave comments down below, and so to say, oh, we reset it by doing it that. That would be greatly appreciated if you've already used the TrackIR clip. But I'll show you guys how it's like in game. So I'll pause the video here again, and I'll load up a American Truck Simulator for you guys so you can see how it works in that. So I'll be right back. Okay guys, welcome back again. Right, so as you can see, I'm playing American Truck. This will work on other games. Farming Simulator, you've got to download some software for it. I think Mr. Moose has done something along those lines, so if you want to go about doing that, then please do, but bear in mind, I think you have to put your computer into a testing mode, or test mode, which can sort of like, you know, be a bit problematic. As you can see, I'm not using my mouse, I'm not using my keyboard or any joystick. It's just working as I'm tilting my head. I can sort of like lean forward, look at the gauges, do that. It doesn't, this game doesn't sort of like really support when you sort of like rotate your head from left to right. It doesn't sort of pick that up, but a lot of games do, like flight sim games. So it does all 6 axes, so it goes up, down, right and left. And again, as it does actually, like as you may have seen me on the TrackIR software, me tilting my head from right to left. It does support that. It's just, I think, an ATS, it kind of deselects that because you don't really need to do that inside your cabin. But literally, I'm just looking from right to left. Again, when you're looking out, I can still see the screen. Okay, my head's slightly pointed slightly off of the screen itself. Again, you can calibrate it so you don't have to lean so much round, but it's in its entirety. Let's just fire up. I'm not going to go on a full run. I'm just going to quickly drive her down the road just so you guys can see what it's like when it's working and how good it is. Now, would I recommend this product? Yes, I would. Purely because, and I know I'm sounding critical, as I used to say, would work better for a free screen setup. Yes and no, it would work for a free screen setup. It would make your life easier on both. It's just when your hands are not necessarily free, and you want to actually rotate the camera screen. You can. You don't necessarily have to grab the mouse. I'm still grabbing the mouse accidentally because I'm not used to it yet. I'm getting used to it. As you can see, I'm picking it up nice and slowly, and I think once I've done some real calibration on this, I think it'll be a lot better. I've got to sort of like nail it down. It's going to take me a while to do, and everything else. It is expensive. It is an expensive undertaking. I admit, it's not cheap, and there are ways you can make your own sort of like TrackIR using the software that TrackIR provides. From what I've heard, that can be problematic because obviously the TrackIR made it to work with their own software, their own hardware. So if you try and make your own homemade version of it, you may find it doesn't kind of work, or it freaks out a lot. And at the end of the day, if you think about going down that route, okay, you may save yourself some money, but from what I hear, you're constantly always having to adjust the settings all the time. With this, I'm in playing right now, just the basic settings. I haven't really calibrated mine fully yet, and it's literally just play it straight out of the box. And you know, I'm sort of like getting used to it, but it's become sort of like counterintuitive. It's become sort of like intuitive playing now. I just have to remember to look left and right, and sort of up and down. Only works in cab. I know on games like Armour and stuff, it will work as the third person sort of like aspect. But it is quite good. And you know, if you're thinking about buying it and you want to, you know, fair and impartial sort of like review of it, then you know, I paid for this for my own money. They didn't supply this to me. I bought it off Amazon. You know, and like I say, it's a big bit of expensive bit of kit. What you have to do, and this is what I'm going to say, you know, just think about it. If you don't mind using your mouse, then you know, use your mouse. Or if you've got a joystick or whatever, then again, it makes things a lot easier for yourself. If you think that's the route you want to go down, by all means, go down that route. But if you're seriously thinking about getting TrackIR and like thinking, well, is it really worth it? I'd say go through what games you play. If you play a lot of driving simulators, then yeah, it's going to help you a lot. If you play a lot of flight simulators, it's going to help you a lot. If you're just playing farming simulator or strategy games, it might not help you as much. If you're into first person shooters, again, as long as the game supports TrackIR, then it's going to help you a lot, because you can just quickly look rather than grab your mouse and everything else. I don't know if it works on Long Dark. I'll have to try that at some point. I know it's still in beta. They've just recently got an update for it. But what I'll do is I'll get to this next junction, because I've rambled on long enough. See, I almost went for a mouse again then. So many years of actually looking at my mouse, grabbing my mouse from wrong gear. But it's a lot easier than grabbing your mouse, because especially with my mouse and the way it's set up, it's kind of sandwiched between sort of like the fish tank and my desk, so I don't have the full freedom of movement that a mouse should have. The good thing about this is you can sort of change your view. So I haven't got it fully pegged on yet. Turn those lights in. Don't need them on. And I'll just pull towards that petrol station over there. It is kind of good, because you can just, like I say, you see, imagine the screen as different parts of your setup, and away you go. I'll just put it just by this grayscale here. Park up there. Good thing again with this, you've got like, if you're in a tight area, you can just peer over the top of the bonnet and have a good look round. As I say, it definitely makes this game a lot more immersive. But again, guys, as I say, I'm not going to say you should go out and buy it. Just evaluate your own needs. Because it is a big, expensive bit of kit, as I said. But if it's something which you're really thinking about buying and unsure of, I would say yes, go and buy it. If you're into a lot of sim stuff, like I said, go and buy it, because it just makes your life a lot easier. If you're not, if you're just general gamer, then you're just going to have to evaluate what you really want out of your gameplay, if you want more immersiveness, or you just want to jump on and play. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the box opening review of the TrackIR. If you did, please guys, it helps me out a lot, but give me a big thumbs up, big like, it helps me out a lot. If you didn't, obviously, please feel free to dislike as well. But if you know anyone else that also might enjoy watching the box opening review, again guys, it helps me out a lot if you share that. I'm perfectly happy with you guys to share with other people, so please do, and please share with other people. They can come and have a look for themselves. And if you're new to my channel and you'd like to see more box opening reviews or whatever, anything else that I'm working on, please feel free to subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. TTFN.